All right, hello everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of HwaitingRadio. This is episode 36, and I have 6 guests with me, and we're actually going to talk about, well, the title is Discussing Fandoms and Their Behavior. Now, we'll get more into it, but let's go ahead and introduce my guests. So guest number 1, please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Hannah. I don't really have anything to promote other than I'm a huge K-pop fan, thanks to Mitzi, who's also here, and I'm just here to talk about my little opinions.
Thank you. And guest number 2.
Hi, I'm Kenzie. I don't have anything to promote either, but I'm just a general K-pop fan and just kind of love to sit in and hear what everyone has to say about K-pop.
And guest number 3.
Hi, I'm Diana, and I'm a K-pop fan too, and I'm just gonna, sit here and listen and put in my opinion to what our topics are going to be today.
And guest number 4.
Hi everyone, I am CD from the YouTube channel AK3R. I am the pride of the East Side, and I currently hold the record for most HwaitingRadio episode.
No, you don't.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is a very special episode for you, CD.
Yes, Amber specifically summoned me for this episode.
Yes. So.
Literally, she's like, you're going to be on today's episode. No questions asked. There. So yeah, nice to see everyone again.
Yes, and in second place, for most HwaitingRadio episodes, guest number 5.
Hey guys, it's Mitzi. You basically know all my social media and everything, part of CD's channel too. I'm gonna share my opinions, and it should be interesting since it's like co-host versus co-host in a sense.
Where's your theme music?
Dun dun dun!
Perfect. And guest number 6.
Hi, my name's Tori, and I do K-pop music video reactions on the channel called Totally TNT, and I just talk about, anything related to K-pop, and yeah.
Yes, and I want to thank all my guests. Most of you are new, so I'm very excited, and I hope you guys will have fun, and this will be an experience for you guys. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so yes, that is my theme music. No copyright. It's awesome. We're going to be talking about a video that CD, my guest number 4. Thank you. Well, CD, I'll let you explain. What is the video about, and why did you make it?
Hello, I am not poor, for I am guest number 4. When I made this video, it was basically because recently, in the K-pop fans that I talked to in my area...
Wait, say the title.
What? Oh, Unpopular K-pop Opinions, My Issue with BTS. Also, just so you know, I'm a journalist, so sometimes we work the titles a certain way to get attention. Sorry, that's just our thing. Sorry, I took inspiration from KoreaBoo.com. I'm sorry. And maybe some all K-pop. But, basically, recently in the past few days, a lot of the BTS fans I have been talking to, none of them are on my channel, and none of them host a radio show, just saying.
Dun dun dun.
I couldn't talk to them about anything else other than BTS. Like, if I ever attempted to change the topic to any other group, doesn't matter if they were old or new, I would either get shrugged off, I would either basically tell me that no one cares about them, about X, Y, and Z, let's only talk about BTS. I would be playing my music, and for those of you who know me, I am multi-fandom hardcore, whole hardcore. Yes, I have an Ultimus Prime. Yes, I have an ultimate bias group, but I am very, very multi-fandom. I was just listening to my music, and they would say, put on BTS, put on BTS. Nobody wants to hear this, put on BTS. And Mitzi already knows that it doesn't matter who you are, if someone's playing their ultimate bias, you don't tell them to change the song. You wait till it's over, then you ask them to play a different song. But it just got to a point where it wasn't fun being around K-pop fans, and I live in an area where I live in the country. I live in Virginia, USA. It's the country where K-pop fans are hard to come by, So it's the fact that the only K-pop fans that I do know who are very, very what's the word I'm looking for? Mitzi, give me a nice word. Yeah, some of the K-pop fans that I do talk to are very, very biased to the point where it's not fun talking to them. And then on the internet, there was one day where I was just looking at Beyonce videos because Beyonce was my queen before I got into K-pop, and I would go in the comment section, and and out of the blue I see, where are the armies at? Where are the armies at? I'm like, what? What are you doing? This video has nothing to do with armies whatsoever. And then I would go on other videos like Zion T's Younghwa Bridge or Jo Kwan's video for I'm the One, which it does have BTS members featured in it. But then once again, check the comment. I commented something, and someone was like, "Nobody cares. I'm only here for J-Hope." And then someone else was like, "No one cares. Don't you see Jungkook and Jin in the background?" And I'm just like, I'm actually here for the main artist of the music video. So ... And it got to a point where I was just really frustrated, because it felt like, yes, BTS is very, very talented. Like I said in my video, they're very, very talented. They're currently one of the top trending groups. They are definitely worth the hype. But eventually, if something doesn't change quick, not change as in like, no, I don't think BTS should fall off the face of the earth. No, because then I would cry, because Rap Monster is my husband. No.
Dun, dun, dun.
No, but I feel like if something doesn't change quick, BTS might end up becoming the One Direction of the K-pop fandom.
Oh.
Yeah, and you know how we already know how we feel about One Direction and their fans. Don't let that happen. So I just made that video venting out my frustrations, and I will say it now and forever. I do not hate BTS. I do not hate them. Yes, there are other fandoms who have done this as well, but in all of my years so far, I was there back when XOLs were exotics. I was there during that time, and there is a big difference from when I was I still am an exotic. Still am an EXO fan. A big difference versus being in the ARMY fandom and the EXO fandom. At some points, the EXO fandom did a very good job at policing themselves and making sure that the fandom didn't get too much out of hand, both international and Asian fans. But nowadays, with ARMY, I don't see that same policing of themselves. Because nowadays, you barely hear from XOLs these days. You barely hear from them. But, now it's ARMY. And I don't know if it's in my opinion, ARMYs are worse than XOL. Because at some point, there was one point in time where XOLs united the fandom at one point. The whole K-pop fandom. When EXO was nominated for some international music awards, at some point they united the whole entire fandom. And we won. But I just don't feel that with ARMYs. I just feel like, ARMYs just might become the One Direction or Biebers of the fandom. Even though they're not. Rap Monster, you are not Bieber. I'm so sorry, Rap Monster! Okay. I'm done now.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that is CD's side. Now I'm going to get my other guest opinions on that, because we all watched the video, and yeah.
Even though some of us popped it.
All right, so guest number 1. Can I get your opinion on the video, and maybe your outside opinions as well?
I definitely agree that a lot of fandoms can be really crazy, and that there are definitely people that don't say anything, but the thing that I feel like is that with fandoms, there will always be people crazy, but there will always be people still policing themselves and still apologizing and complaining about how rude other people are. Like, that's generally how it is with any fandom. There's always going to be people like that, and there's nothing you can really change about that. And of course, XOLs, they eventually calm down because, they've been out for a while, for a couple of years. So after a while, they settle into it, they realize what they're doing wrong, and, they become more calmer. But with BTS, especially with, where they are right now, how recent they've been, and everything that's coming out, of course there are going to be more so often, crazy people coming around right now, currently. And especially also with the thing about how friends in your area, they only talk about BTS. I mean, that's understandable. Of course, it's sad that they don't really want to delve further into the K-pop world and talk about other groups or listen to other groups, but that's kind of their decision, and if you're the one controlling the music, they can't do anything about it. But you can't do anything about what they like either. Pretty much it.
Guess number 2.
So I watched the video as well, and half I agreed and half I didn't agree. You made a lot of good points, CD, about how, because I've encountered some people like that too, where they're just they're not open to other stuff. I personally am literally every day trying to find new stuff to look into and new things, and it's if I hadn't stretched out my K-pop music choices, like right now I'm obsessed with Jisoo's voice, like his velvety vocals, and if I hadn't like reached out and tried to find stuff, I would not have been blessed to hear his voice. So I totally I get that. So the whole multi-fandom, I'm on that as well. And again, highlighting what guest number 1 said as well, it's like, like the XOLs, they got into it, they adjusted, they had time to settle. Like, I think ARMYs are just like really excited because BTS is doing some pretty amazing things right now. So they're super excited and they want to share. So I get that aspect, but sometimes it's a little much,
Guest number 3.
Well, I watched your video and partially it made me a little confused to listen to it. But now that I hear more about your side of the story, I can totally understand. Myself, I'm an ARMY. I'm sorry, but I'm an ARMY because BTS was my first bias group. It was my first group into K-pop. But I honestly agree that ARMY is getting a little bit too out of hand with everything because, I mean, it's one thing to be really excited for your bias group to be reaching, their goals and everything, but it's a little too much to be going on to completely unrelated topics to the group and just, spreading it everywhere. Like with your incident with the Beyonce and everything, that I wouldn't condone that as an ARMY. If it's related to the group, it's okay, but if it's not, then we should tone it down a bit. And I agree that we should police ourselves. Right now, it's a little shaky for us to do that because BTS is, at their prime right now. They're hitting number 1 in charts and everything, but we should start to tone it down. Otherwise, we are going to become the One Direction of, the K-pop fandom. And about your friends, like, I find it really rude. You would be playing music. I'd want to hear BTS, but, if you're playing some music and, it sounds good, I'd want you to keep it on. I'm trying to go into more groups like EXO and, Miss A and all these other groups that I'm discovering. And I'm also discovering other new groups through BTS when they, collab with other ones. So I can see your point on why it would be really annoying and irritating for ARMYs and to, just continuously hear about BTS all the time. But I totally agree with your opinion.
And guest number 5.
Okay. Basically, we discussed the whole reason, I think, as to why this first, CD's video of BTS, the unpopular K-pop opinion, first came up was we had a live chat for that, and we were discussing, our own personal opinions, and I understand, his side, that the ARMYs are, some ARMYs, not all ARMYs, some ARMYs are taking it a bit too far, and I'm trying to understand, the whole One Direction side, because, I don't really know too much about that, because, I was a fan, but I didn't really, encounter other, I don't know what they did, Can someone explain, or...
Yeah.
Can I explain?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. One Direction fans were pretty crazy. Like, they would attack other fandoms in their music group genre. They would attack them, and it'd be completely unprovoked. It'd just be, they'd say something, and then it'd be like this war going on. It was pretty violent, and, people didn't really like that. Because you'd say, oh, well, One Direction isn't really my favorite group. And they'd be like, well, why isn't it? They're amazing. Oh my god, Harry is just so cute, blah, 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 blah. And hearing that continuously from people gets really annoying. And it's like,
Okay.
oh, Lord.
Okay, well, she obviously don't like them. So, well, obviously I watched CD's video. I technically watch all his videos as being part of his channel, and I understand the concern for that and the unnecessary comments leading into other videos and whatnot and the whole fun thing. I got friends like that too, but I think maybe the video is named inappropriately because it says unpopular opinions for my thing with BTS. I guess it should have been more targeted towards the fandom, I guess, in a sense, but when you look at ARMYs right now, I feel there are a lot of people apologizing for it. There's this whole thing, this article I read yesterday. If I probably can share the link out, or Amber have the link down in the description bar, whatever. Basically, they apologize to each fandom. So, like, Shawals, the XOLs, you know, all of them, like, Vix. I don't know what Vix's fandom name. Do they have a fandom name?
Starlight.
Sorry. Starlight, yes. Sorry. It, like, slipped my mind. They listed each reason as to why they're apologizing and, like, what the whole thing was. Oh, and then VIPs and stuff like that. So, it's just, I think, because in the video, it also says, like, they also want to listen to BTS. BTS is everywhere, blah, blah, blah. You know, I mean, they are everywhere. They are the trending group. They have, you know, they're really popular. They're promoting right now, and I'm pretty sure the company is a bit overworking them. Maybe not a bit, a lot more. But I think it's because they're on their prime, as they stated, as previous guests stated before. And I mean, when you're at your prime, like, look at, I think XOLs in specific, it would be like the perfect example as the fandom, because they, not a perfect fandom, but, you know, like an example, they showed how, like, crazy y'all can get once, like, they're in their prime, but, I mean, I used to be, like, a huge XOL, like, that, and then people started leaving, and then, you know, other fans were, like, ruining it, but, I think it's because EXO isn't promoting as much as BTS right now. So I feel like that's why BTS is a huge group right now, because they don't have members leaving. They don't have, like, so much drama within, like, the K-pop world, besides the fans, like, you know, starting crap and whatnot. And I mean, there are a lot of crazy fans out there, as, like, Group 1 says, and they can get batshit crazy and, like, do, you know, like, revolve their whole world around them. But, I mean, there's lots of opinions. I totally agree with CD, certainly. And, I mean, like, but the whole multi-fandom thing, I think it honestly depends on the person. Because definitely Hannah, guest number 1, I introduced her to EXO first. But along with that, I also introduced Sista, A-Pink, and she's really into all the GOT7, all those dance groups, and or, like, all the dances they do. So, I mean, I think it just depends on how you approach introducing, you know, people first. I mean, like, BTS is a great group to introduce because they have a lot of different genres that they could, you know, you got, like, rap, whatever. But going along back to the fans, policing them, is it really our job to police them as, like, a fandom? I mean, like, honestly, I'm not on Twitter every day. I'm not on Tumblr. I don't go on YouTube all the time and check the comment section, honestly. Like, I'll tell you, like, 1 out of 10 videos that I watch, maybe I'll check the comment section. It's not, like, a huge thing for me, I guess, because I don't really comment too much on things. But I guess eventually, as the group starts to, like, which is sad to say, like, somewhat go down, is not as popular, as, like, as trendy as they are right now, I'm pretty sure the fandom will, like, slowly won't be as crazy as they are now, because they are, like, a trending idol in a sense, you know? And that's my opinion, Mr. Co-host.
And guest number 6.
I kind of, like, agree with what everyone's saying, but I just think because BTS is so popular right now, like, they're on the billboards, like, mostly everyone, like, knows who they are, and I just think, like, some fans that, like, kind of act, I don't want to say crazy, but, like, what's another word for, like, kind of just overboard, I guess?
Way too hype.
Like, just kind of, like, overboard. Like, that's been happening since, like, DBSK. Like, it happens with, like, every single big K-pop group that's in their prime at that time. So I feel like the hype, I guess, is going to go down once, you know, there's new K-pop groups and once fans start leaving because of whatever reasons. So even though it's, like, an issue kind of right now, like, seeing them on comments and things like that, I feel like it is going to go away. And I mean, there's always going to be, like, fans that are not the greatest, but I just feel like it's going to go down. Because that's what happens with, like, basically every group. Like, EXO fans were, like, the crazy fans, and, like, you know, XOLs aren't crazy, but you don't really hear about that anymore. And now it's BTS, and then it's going to be, you know, whatever new band that just takes everyone's breath away. So that's, like, my opinion.
I like that. Takes everyone's breath away. Damn.
Wow. No, like, I agree with everyone. I kind of agree with the, like, people are caught in like the fame of BTS right now and their popularity. So that's why they're kind of like, oh my gosh, BTS, everything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure it'll die down, like EXO.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the only I agree. Basically, everyone's my only defense I have of one of my opinions is basically the only slight differences is that back when EXO was still everywhere, all over the place, and I was amongst my fellow EXOLs, I could still talk to them about any other fandom, which is why that opening monologue of my video I talked about multi-fandomness first, because even back when DVSK was all over the place and SHINee was all over the place and Wonder Girls and all these other groups were all over the place, if I wanted to just talk about another group, I didn't have that problem. And when I talked about I didn't mean specifically now, because this was an issue that I had mentioned even before BTS had come back. And just for those of you who don't know, my rant series on popular K-pop opinions is based off of the Tumblr blog on popular K-pop opinions. And one of the most common things I saw before BTS's comeback was, guys, can you stop shoving BTS at us? It's getting annoying. That was one of the most common things I saw. Even before the epilogue and everything else dropped, that was the most common post that I saw even when BTS was on hiatus. Because I can understand when it's comeback time and they're on the charts, understandable. But when it's hiatus time and other groups are performing, I'm not saying that this has to be it. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying you have to stop talking about them when they're on hiatus. No. That's not what I mean at all. I just mean that at the time when BTS wasn't promoting, I kept seeing continuous posts saying, guys, stop spamming the BTS, stop spamming the BTS, stop spamming the BTS. And that was what really irked me the most, because even when EXO was on hiatus, when EXO was on hiatus, no one spamming. People talk about EXO still, regardless, but EXO doesn't have that problem when they're on hiatus. DBSK DBSK is complicated. Well, hopefully you guys will understand what I'm trying to say. It's just that there are times where BTS isn't trending, and this is still a problem. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. There are times where they're not trending, they're not doing anything, and even a slightest Bangtan bomb will send the fandom into a frenzy.
Everything, but tone it down a bit.
Yeah, it's just tone it down.
They're good, but it's just don't bring it up all the time. We get they're good. Just tone it down a bit. We know just keep it down.
Can we interject at any time? Is this
Yeah.
a free-for-all right now?
Yes.
Okay, go
Okay,
ahead,
I'm sorry.
Hannah.
I thought it was
Go.
yeah.
She's texting me. She's like, "Can I speak or something?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Go ahead."
I was waiting for someone to help me.
You guys can jump in at any time, okay?
Okay.
I didn't know.
Okay.
I was like, but the thing that I wanted to say is I think another thing to consider is that because BTS is so recent and it's really modernized, the kind of music that they do, it's also understandable that there are definitely a lot of younger fans. Me myself, I'm 15 years old and I love K-pop, and I don't want to blame all the younger fans for being crazy, because it's not only younger fans, but I will say that it's mostly younger fans, because puberty, going through those hormones and all those obsessions, of course they're going to go a bit crazy. And
It's a war of hormones.
hormones, definitely. And I think the reason why so many people still talk about BTS even when they're on hiatus is because it's such a short period of hiatus lately that they've been doing. Because with EXO, usually they have months or even, well, I don't want to say a year, but they have a long period where they're not doing anything. But with BTS, it's they just keep coming out with things left and right, and it's really recent. They'll have an album, they'll have a little bit of time to not really be doing anything, but then maybe 2 months later they'll already have something out. So it's something really popular will come out, and of course it's not going to die out right away once it's over. There's going to be a little time where people will still like it, and then right when it's dying out, they'll come out with something again that's even greater. And of course, me too, I definitely agree that it can get annoying when they're talking about the same exact thing over and over and over, but I think they're just reasons for it, so I don't really complain that much about it. It's just because I know why it's like that. Roll my ankle cracked. But yeah, that's just my point here. I understand that it's annoying, and that people constantly talk about BTS even when they aren't doing anything, but it's just because it's so recent that things just keep on happening with them. Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
I get what CD's saying, because there's a lot of new fans or so that don't really know about like other K-pop bands, and I get like how that can be like annoying kind of when when it's only like about BTS or someone else, and you don't really talk about like like other bands, or like when people say like BTS are the kings of K-pop and kind of forgetting about the older groups that have been around for a long time. So I get that completely, because it can be kind of like, yeah, it's just kind of So I get that completely, just like only talking about BTS or a certain group like that instead of including everyone else.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I think the reason that so many people are, talking so much about BTS is because in America, K-pop is becoming more out there, and everybody's discovering it more. So it's becoming more popular. And BTS is one of those groups that has, a variety of different members, like any other K-pop group, and they just come out with these perfectly amazing songs. And because people are now getting more into K-pop and it's becoming more popular, it's the first thing that comes into them, because they've come into the prime of where K-pop is becoming out there in America. And so I guess the reason that people talk about it so much is because it's their first group that they discover here, because it's more modernized, it's a little more aimed towards the younger generations, teens, and they talk about real life things, but even then it can get really annoying when they continuously talk about it. And it's like the One Direction era coming back in 2016.
Another thing I will mention, Diana reminded me, is like also right now BTS is on vacation in Sweden right now, and if you saw on social media,
Wait, stop! Wait!
I didn't
Wait.
Hold up.
Before we get into that, CD, we're gonna be talking about actual fan behavior.
Okay, guys, even though we're talking about fan behavior right now, we will talk more about BTS's ARMY's fan behavior, more specifically in part 2, their most recent behavior towards BTS in Sweden. We'll see you guys in part 2.
Yes, and not only BTS fans, but we're going to be talking about the whole fandom, okay? All right, bye.